Hello and welcome back to my channel. So in this series of videos we are learning how to do modeling and assembling in Inventor. We are getting a basic idea of what Inventor is and how it can be used for modeling purposes. So in our previous session we had started modeling in Inventor and we saw various features given here, extrude, revolve, etc. And then we moved on to see other features such as chamfer, hole, fillet, shell, etc. Now we have a few remaining functions which are there in modeling. They are patterns, mirror, and a little bit of surfacing we will see after that. So now we will see some examples of rectangle pattern and how they are used. Whenever you need to put similar solids in a single model, you can use patterns. We will extrude some feature here on this face. First of all, we will make a basic sketch. I am taking these squares and circle shapes only because they are easy to draw, they are easy to understand, and very fast I can show you how the things are done. I can draw the complex shapes also, but it will take time and the lessons will be boring for you. So here I extrude this. I'm just using it as an example, so don't practice like me and give all the constraints and dimensions to the sketches. Okay, so now you can see that simple extrude is sitting on the top of this face. We will try to pattern it. We'll click on the pattern. We will select this feature. Now we have two options for two different directions. We will give the first direction here. Now in the giving the patterns to models, we can use the edges of the existing model to give directions. We will give the spacing as required and we will give the number of patterns which we need. We can select the second direction if we want. We will give the spacing and then we will give the number of extrudes. Then, so now you can see that a pattern is generated here and you can edit that pattern by double clicking here in the model tree. Similarly, we can make a circular pattern. For circular pattern, instead of giving the direction, we have to choose the axis or axis for the circular pattern. The axis will act as the center of that pattern. We will click on the circular pattern, we will select the feature. Then we have to select the axis. We can either select this edge or we can select some axis on which we want to give the pattern. Now we can select the degree of the arc in which we want that pattern. Let's say that it's 270 degree and the number of pattern we need is only 3. Then you can see that 3 patterns will be generated and it will be over 270 degrees of arc. We can change the degrees also and we can also change the number of patterns. So in this way these patterns will work. Now we have another option, that is the mirror. Assume that you are making a part which is symmetric over axis or a plane. Then what you can do is, if it's complicated, you can make half part of that model over a plane and then mirror that half part to another side of that plane. For example, this is a simple model or structure with two extrudes and now we have planes here. Okay, let's assume that there is a plane lying 2 inches apart from this face and there is another object similar to this model lying somewhere here on this side of the plane. So what will we do? We will click on the mirror. We will select the features which we want to mirror. And then we will select the plane over which we want to mirror that object. We will click OK and the model will get generated. So the direct command or the direct feature does not get copied in the mirror. So you have to keep it in mind that if you want to do direct edit, we can do it after the mirror is done. So now all the basic features of part modeling are covered in our sessions. Now we will move on and see some of the features, some basic features which are there in Inventor related to surfacing. Keep in mind that Inventor is not basically used for complex surfacing because it is not an effective surfacing software such as CATIA. The extrusions and each and every process of surfacing is similar to that of extrusions or the solids, but in this case we will have to choose different options here. First of all, we will delete all the features below this end of the part. We'll select this feature also, but we will keep the sketch just to use it. Now we will select the extrude. Now selecting the extrude, you have an option here. If you click on that, it will get converted to surface mode. So now whatever height you give to this extrusion, it will get converted to surface. You can see that a transparent surface is generated here having 4 walls. So now using these commands you can build a surface model as you like. There is an extend command here. You can use it and give extrusions to the edge. You don't have to make further sketches, you can just click on that edges and it will get extended. You can sculpt when you have two intersecting surfaces, like I will draw a surface here. I will click on the extrude. I will reverse the direction and here I will have another surface. When I click on the sculpt, I can select both the objects and it will tell me to make a new solid. And for sculpting it is necessary that we have a closed uh, surfacing model. So first of all we will see another options and then we will see sculpt. So here we have two intersecting surfaces here. We will try to trim one by another. First of all we will select the cutting tool. Let this plane be the cutting tool. Then we will select the part which we want to remove. We will select the upper part and we will click on apply. Now you can see that this surface model is closed on one end. Similarly, we will make a surface here. Then we will repeat the trim process. Okay. Now we can uh, stitch these surfaces to one another. We can give the tolerance here and we can click on apply. Now you can see that these whole surfaces will uh, be generated as one single stitch surface. Now what we will do is we will see a function of sculpt. I think the sculpt is used only when there is an existing solid there and we have intersecting surface. So first we will generate a solid here. Let the size of the solid be 5 by 5. Height be 10. We will draw a spline surface which intersects that solid. We will select spline line from here. Click on create. Now you can see that there is a spline line over that face of the solid. We will generate a surface from that. We will keep the width as 10 inches. So you can see that there is a surface which is intersecting this solid. Now we will click on sculpt. We will select the surface. Now we can use this surface to remove either part of that solid. You can see that that solid face has now converted according to that surface, spline surface. So this is how sculpt is used. So these are the different basic commands of surfacing, and with this we end the session for modeling, because I think that every basic concept of how modeling is done in Inventor is covered in these 3 videos of modeling. So you can practice by yourself, and if you have any doubts or if you have any difficulties, you can ask me in the comment sections. If you like the video, subscribe to my channel and share it to the friends who are interested in learning Inventor. Thank you.